Welcome, everybody out there in the internet and all places that we can get to all over the entire world and outer space. If you're
Outer
listening,
space? What if astronauts listened to this podcast in outer
not
space?
astronauts, aliens.
Oh, even better.
Even cooler. This is Sis and Big Pops, episode 84.
Woo!
As always, I am Big Pops Todd Turner, and my lovely co-host,
Mosaic
as
fan art.
always.
Mosaic
I
fan art.
yeah, I am also Mosaic fan art, and I say as always a lot. I have
Who
to
cares?
change that.
Who cares?
And every time my co-host is
Hi, sweet friends. My name is Hannah Jo, aka Sis. Ooh, together we are an adult daughter-father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
you said ooh, and I just started just laughing and coughing coffee at the same
I
time.
accidentally muted myself while I was talking, and I was like, ooh, oopsie.
Okay. Should we start this over? You want to
No,
start
I
it over?
think that this is great.
All right. Well, good deal.
Everything
Well,
about
folks,
this makes me happy.
welcome to episode 84 of Sis and Big Pops, a family-friendly nerd podcast with great intro music by Brockwell Nason, but you'll learn all about that. So anyway, we are having pet interruptions tonight. This is
We
Pet
are.
Interruption Day. We're late starting because of a doo-doo accident, and then we have a cat.
My
Going
cat has
zooming.
the zoomies,
But anyway,
and my husband is gone, and it's my husband's cat.
it is
And he hates me. Not my husband, but the cat.
good. Let's clarify that. Hey,
The cat
Hannah,
hates me.
tell everybody what we do here.
Hi, sweet friends. We're going to start by chitter-chatting about nerd news and stuff that we think is interesting and cool, what we've been binging, and then we're going to share Pops' pull list. He's going to share with us some comics. Today's a little bit different than usual because we're going to be talking about LexCon 2024.
The Lexington Toy and Comic Convention.
Yeah. It's because we were at the LexCon for Mosaic fan art.
Woohoo.
And we're going to chat about Dune Part 2. So this is going to be a spoiler-heavy Dune Part 2.
But the movie's been out for a hot minute, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
if you don't want to be spoiled, we'll do that at the very end.
yeah, and there was something else I wanted to say, but I forgot. It's all right.
Okay.
We'll get to it. It'll come out.
Right
So, Hannah, let's hop into the part we call Nerd News to Us. We do that because it's like, yeah, we just pick and choose what we want to talk about. What do you got, Hannah?
100%. Okay. I got 3 new movies that are coming out that I'm interested in.
Okay, I saw a bunch. Yes. What do you got?
Okay. This is not necessarily something I'm interested in. It's just something I thought you should know about. The Furiosa
I saw it.
prequel with Anya Taylor-Joy.
It looks awesome. And Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth?
Yes, Chris Hemsworth.
I missed that.
He's
I believe
in it.
you.
Mm-hmm.
We're not allowed. He does
Well,
not.
guess what?
Sorry, this cat
Guess
does not
guess who
respect
just
me.
came upstairs?
Gigi.
Yeah.
Apollo, our dear sweet cat, who has zero respect for me, is not allowed to be on the table because Trevin does not want him where we eat our food, which makes a lot of sense. And stop it, get down. Apollo does not respect my authority, nor does Apollo enjoy my presence. So he is sitting out on the table, not caring that I have asked him to sit down twice. And everyone, I love this cat. Cats are my favorite. I don't want you to think that I'm like anti-cat. We love animals. Well, I'm not a dog person. Don't come at me for that. I don't. I'm big on smells, and dogs are. I'm on a tangent at this point.
All right, well, let's
but
stop.
the
Let's
cat
reel it back
won't
in.
Leave.
You should watch. There's a guy named Zoltan, And he does this whole entire bit about having a cat versus a dog. He's a cat person, and her name is Jessica. So you can go and watch that. It's hilarious. He says, I'm not anti-dog. I like other people's dogs. I just like them over there. But I just don't need that. I don't need that kind of energy in my life. It's like I need, more of an apathetic roommate.
There was on our honeymoon, there was a comedian who did a regular, family friendly show and then like a late night show. And he had a bit about a cat at both shows, but I don't remember what the bit was.
Maybe your cat's really a flirkin.
Well, if my cat's a flirkin, I'm glad he hasn't eaten my face yet.
All right. What were we talking about? Furiosa.
Furiosa. I really like Anya Taylor-Joy. Do you remember watching Emma when we were
I remember.
COVID? That is her. That's Anya Taylor-Joy.
I know who it is. She was also in the New Mutants movie.
And Dune Part 2.
Which was halfway decent. Who was she in Dune 2?
She's the sister that does not exist yet.
What?
Yeah. When Paul
it's just
sees
her voice.
No, when Paul sees her for a second, that's it. Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Excuse you. Zelda. That's not her name. Zendaya.
Yeah.
Zendaya was only in part 1, 10 minutes.
I understand that. And that's about the way it should be. But we'll talk about this as we get into the movie. Okay. We're going to talk more. But anyway, I saw that. I think it looks great. Although it's a little creepy because it's basically child kidnapping and forcing a young teenager into, we're not big into that.
Servanthood.
Yeah, well, that's not indentured at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't like that part.
But I know that you like the Mad Max movies.
Yeah, they're good. And the Fury Road was amazing.
I enjoyed it.
It was great.
I had no idea what was happening the entire time.
Well,
but it was interesting.
You didn't have to watch the Mad Max movies to understand it. You just know that it's a post-apocalyptic, end-of-the-world type thing. So anyway, what other movie you got?
Another movie, The Fall Guy.
Okay, have you not seen previews for this?
I have. It looks hysterical.
Do you know what that is?
No.
It's a TV show from the 80s.
It is not.
Yes, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine, but I'm the unknown stunt man that made Eastwood look so fine.
That's so
it starred the $6 million man Lee Majors.
Fun.
I loved that TV show.
So this looks more like a rom-com.
This was a TV show about basically a guy who would go get bail jumping, people who jump bail, I think. He was like Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm going to screw it up here. But it was really, really good.
It looks really fun. I am excited for Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt to be romantic interests for each other.
Yeah, that funny.
Seems funny to me.
But yeah, they're remaking a 80s TV show.
Well, I thought that it sounded like a really interesting concept, and turns out we can't do anything new.
No, we can't. Everything old it's again. Oh, Ron, if you people don't know, we do record this live on Facebook, and one of our followers, Ron, just said that I sounded better than Lee Majors singing the song. So there you go.
How's that feel, Dad?
Well, I knew it was the truth. Anyway, I got better chops.
Okay, there's also a movie coming out called The Idea of You, and it was a romance novel.
Okay.
That people were joking that was like a Harry Styles fanfic, where an older woman falls in love with like a teen pop, not that he's a teen, but like a pop star that's in like a boy band.
Young pop star. Yeah, I gotcha.
And so they fall in love and they start dating, and it's their story of like her, like the media thinking that she's a cougar and like all of the like hard stuff that they go through there. Turns out I did some Googling because it's a book, because of course it is, because again,
nothing new.
And it's not a happy ending.
Okay. Yeah.
And so
we can talk about that in Dune 2 as well.
I'm not going to watch it.
There you go. I don't blame you. That's what we do here. So we can choose not to watch something or stop watching something if we decide.
I love stop watching things. Trevin hates it.
Me too.
But yeah, so I honestly, I might watch it and then just pause it when they're happy. And then that just be it.
So there you go. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's what we do. We stop watching things midway through and go, I'm done.
Finished.
So this brought up because I just watched Bullet Train for like the 40th, 50th time.
I wrote
that
this
movie
down
is-
too.
What, Aaron Taylor Johnson as James Bond?
I literally
What
wrote
do you think about that?
reportedly James Bond, and then I wrote Tangerine on Bullet Train so that I can remind you who he was.
Tangerine, yes, I love it.
We knew.
You always were Thomas. He was a Thomas.
He was a Thomas.
Yeah, the girl was a Diesel.
Diesel.
For those of you who don't know, Bullet Train,
Oh,
it is
so
a adult film. Don't
Excellent.
watch it with your kids.
Yeah, it's on
But
Netflix.
watch it. It's amazing. Probably. Yeah, I think it is on Netflix.
I watched it. We watched it.
Yeah, I think it still is. I
a
just
couple
watched
Christmases
it.
ago with Trevin's dad,
Mhm.
and Mark really liked it.
Yeah, it's hilarious and
very
good
funny.
action. Yeah. So yeah, I had that.
Star-studded cast too.
Oh yeah,
Bullet Train?
100% star-studded. Absolutely. So have you ever
Star-studded
heard of the movie The Crow?
No. Is it
Okay.
spooky? You
So
know
The
I'm not a
Crow-
spooky girly.
It is sort of spooky. It's about a guy who it's very Spanish almost in the fact that he comes back to avenge his death. In the movie that came out, I think in the 80s, I can't remember what year it was exactly. Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son,
I was gonna say
starred
Brandon.
in the movie, but there was an accident during filming, and a gun that was supposed to shoot a blank shot and killed him while filming the movie.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yes, so they are remaking The Crow with one of the Skarsgård kids.
Okay. Which one? The skinny one, the tall, handsome one?
Not at all handsome. I don't know. What
Is
do
it
I?
the guy that was It?
How do I know?
Or is it
I
the guy
don't
that was
know.
Tarzan?
I don't know. I don't know. It's one of the Skarsgårds. Anywho,
We're really good at this.
it had so like it came out and then like immediately 88,000 dislikes
I was going to
to
say,
60 likes.
nobody wants the Crow to
60,000
be
likes.
remade.
Yes. Even the guy who directed the old one was like, you
Is
should
it-
not be making this movie.
Is it
I
like
don't.
jinxed? Is that what people are thinking?
Oh, and our friend in the
Yeah, I was
chat,
going to say,
CJ,
we even
just
got a
says,
friend in the chat who's like, this does not need to happen.
I don't know, but it's so bad that I don't know what movie company it is, whatever. They have disabled the dislike button on YouTube. Because I was like, that can't be real. So I pulled it up on YouTube to watch the trailer, and I was like, I can't even dislike it. It says 62,000 thumbs up and then no dislikes at all.
That's
Can
so
you do
funny.
that? Can you disable dislikes?
Didn't they get
We
rid of
have a
dislikes for
YouTube channel.
everything?
No, you can thumb up, thumb down, all kinds of stuff.
Can you?
Anyway, I thought that was
I'm double checking. Oh, it's going to make
You
sound
do-
when I click on something, so I'm not going to do it. Never mind. Pass.
Yeah. So for those there is, of course, they're coming out with a new Tron movie, which, come on, I'm all for it. I love the Tron. I love the second Tron.
If they don't
But
have the giant door, it's not real.
they got to have some way to get in there, some terrible video game that sucks everybody in. But you can watch.
Jumanji?
Yeah, but not Tron. Jumanji, yeah, you just roll dice. You don't get sucked into the game.
they
Well, you
got
do get sucked into the game. That was video
the
game.
remake. They got sucked
Yeah,
into a
I
video
remember that.
game.
That I remember, yeah. But you can watch the making of Dune, the making of Tron 1982, the documentary on YouTube for free. And it's not bad.
Really?
I started watching some of it. Yeah, it's pretty good. I was really impressed with it.
I really want to ride the Dune. Goodness, now I'm doing it because you did it. I want to ride the Tron roller coaster.
Oh, that would be awesome. I've seen that.
Like riding it at nighttime, that would be sick.
Yeah. Oh, and did you know Henry Cavill is going to be in Deadpool Wolverine?
What is he going to be?
The rumor is that he's going to be an alternate timeline Wolverine.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Trevin and I started watching Man of Steel because he had never seen it.
Oh, and well, when you go to watch Batman versus Superman, watch the director's cut. I've said that
The
100 bazillion times.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were trying to say like the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Don't watch that. That's too long.
Yeah, but no, you get more from it. You get more character development from
The stuff about
Cyborg
the
and
cyborg
the
stuff in that
Flash.
is phenomenal,
this,
though.
yeah, and it made me think that the dude who played Cyborg had a legitimate beef with him about
Yeah.
cutting all the cool stuff out because you completely knew everything.
Ruined
I
his
mean,
character
there was so much in him.
development.
Okay, one other movie that's coming out,
Okay.
Rebel Moon Part 2.
Oh,
Did you watch the trailer?
I didn't. Does it look good? Do we learn some lore about the robot with the antlers? That's the only thing I care about.
The only thing we get about the robot from the antlers from that trailer is that he's like, I guess I'm going to have to fight again. And then he just goes shooting. But I sit there and watched it thinking, it literally looks like they have lightsabers. And I couldn't remember who any of the characters were from the first one. How bad is that?
It's bad.
I want to like that movie.
Bad. Well, I don't know if this was a joke or not, but I saw something online where they said that Dune Rebel Moon had better world building than Dune Part 1 did.
What?
And I was like, no. Literally,
well, first of all,
no.
Okay, here's the deal. You really don't need to build much. I mean, people who go in to watch Dune.
I had no idea what was happening.
Okay, well.
I had no idea
I knew
what was
everything.
happening. I'd read the first 4 pages of the book.
Oh, you didn't get nowhere.
I know. It was too hard for me to read, and I read a lot.
Well, you need to borrow my CDs. You have a CD player in that car of yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, after I'm done, I'm on CD disc number 2 right now in my car. All right. That's all I got for news.
Right on. I feel mean. I feel like we're being mean to Rebel Moon. We wanted to like it a lot.
Yeah.
And I will watch the part 2. I'll probably fast forward through the bits I don't want to watch.
I have to go back and rewatch 1 because I don't remember.
Fast forward through the bits I didn't want to watch for part 1.
All right.
Which was a lot
Maybe
of
that's
it.
part of it. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
What have you been watching? Do you want me to go first or you want to go first?
I can go first.
Go.
So I finished Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh, you were loving it. Did you like the end?
I was loving it, and then it got a little bit uncomfortable for me.
Like raunchy?
And just things that they said was raunchy.
Okay.
Like some things. I mean, but it's Donald Glover humor, so you have to go into that with that.
Yeah.
So they're giving mission parameters and they're allowed 3 fails. After 3 fails, we don't know what happens. We find out what happens. After 3 fails, they are terminated.
Right on.
So,
we know what terminated means.
And then it becomes an homage to the movie. Have you seen the movie?
I love the movie. They have to shoot out. They have to fight their way out of the department store.
Right. But before that, they try to kill each other in their own home.
Yeah, in their house. And she's like, you alive, baby? This is one of the 17 DVDs I own, Dad. I know this.
So
I know Mr.
That happens. Okay, that happens and that happened. They do play homage to that with a twist at the end. And it ends not knowing what's there. There is a cliffhanger. Because they reconcile. There's a reason for that happens. It's very well done. It's hilarious. And then there are other Smiths that their job is to take out other Smiths.
Uh-oh.
But you've already been introduced to these people. You're introduced to Paul Dano, the guy who played the Riddler. He's called the hot neighbor, is what they call him in the thing. And you think he's like a spy or whatever. He is not 100%. I'm running it. I can't tell everybody what's going on.
Stop. It's giving Keeping Up with the Joneses meets Polar.
Not what?
Keeping Up with the Joneses is
never saw it.
John Hamm and Gal Gadot, Zach Galifianakis, Isla Fisher movie.
I never saw it.
It's hysterical. And Polar is yeah, never mind. You go.
This does have fun parts in it, but it's not it's not a ha ha ha. I mean, it's pretty brutal in
Okay.
some spots. Your mom dropped off, didn't watch the last
Okay,
2.5
she was enjoying
episodes.
it. Okay, good to know.
She was. And then it was like, are you enjoying this? And I was like, no, it's pretty uncomfortable. But by that time I was like, I'm finishing it to see what happens. But yeah. So I finished it. It is definitely immature. Does have a cliffhanger at the end. I don't want to give it away. It is something you don't want to watch with your children at all.
Lame.
But I did like the characters in it. I mean, it was good. Yeah. And they have a very open, real moment with each other at the end.
Okay,
So
I'm not mad.
no, I finished As You Wish in my
Did
car.
you like it?
I did. I liked it a lot. It was really good.
I'm so glad.
Yeah. It makes me wish that Andre the Giant hadn't passed,
They were so gentle and generous in their remembering of him.
It was
I thought
funny
that was such a beautiful part.
because I got into then watching clips about Andre the Giant and saw one with Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about him.
Really?
And he was
Because I mean,
like,
he was
yeah,
a wrestler.
Yeah, but yeah, he got Arnold to come to see a match in front row and all that stuff. And afterwards, Arnold said he took me out to this great Mexican restaurant, and we ate and ate and ate and drank and drank and drank like Andre does. And then Andre's like, I'm going to pay for Arnold's like, I'm paying for the bill, and he says, no, 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 I pay. And he's like, no, let me. You did all this, and he goes, no, 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 I pay. And then he said, but Andre, you did, I want to do my part. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, he picked me up like a child and set me on top of a credenza.
Yes.
Picked up Arnold Schwarzenegger and walked over and paid the bill while I sat there on the top of this credenza.
Yes.
So yeah,
Oh.
but yeah, As You Wish is really good. It's fun. Listen to it. It made me think of some spiritual anecdotes about Carrie when he broke his toe and tried to hide it, and things will find you out basically, and how Rob Reiner must just be a great guy. I would like to be his friend.
Rob Reiner seems again. Everyone seemed so generous.
Yeah, and just love to make
kind.
the movie.
I wonder why Mandy Patinkin didn't do his bits.
I don't know. There were a couple people that didn't do it. Billy Crystal didn't either.
Billy Crystal
Mandy
did.
Patinkin, not on the one I have.
Oh, Billy Crystal did in the video that the ones that I watched on the library.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I wonder if they have one out there where he has.
He may have. Yeah. There were like 3 or 4 people who didn't. But yeah. And I watched Red Notice again with Mom last night. That's a fun movie. It's not going to win any awards, but it's a popcorn movie. Literally, we made popcorn.
I love that.
Yeah. What about you, Hannah? What are you watching?
Okay. Ocean's 11.
Oh, okay. Of course.
Classic. Have started Ocean's 12. I've seen all of them. My husband has not. So we're watching Ocean's 12, and I'm like, I need you to know that this is the lamest one.
What, the middle one
The middle one where they go for the egg?
I thought that was funny.
I was like, really? Can we care about
because
casinos?
Julia Roberts pretends she's Julia Roberts. That's what's the funny. That's so hilarious.
That's the funniest part of it. But
and his mom and dad.
Yeah.
His mom. That's Matt Damon's mom. Isn't she part of it?
No,
his dad was in the first one.
His dad's in the third one.
His dad was in the. Okay, but his mom is the police officer in the second one.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure.
We'll see.
We'll see. I can't remember.
I can't remember either,
anyway.
but I just remember being like, it's about an egg and being like so mad about it the entire time I watched the movie. And so Trevin's never seen it. He's like, isn't this the one with the dice where they fix the dice? And I was like, no, that's the third one. This is the lame one about the egg.
The third one.
Sorry for all of the people that love Ocean's 12.
Yeah. Okay.
We watched Batman 1989 again because Trevin hadn't seen it.
I told you to watch that one. What'd you think?
Very good. We've talked about it on the podcast. I've seen it before.
Did you see the Oscars? No. I didn't watch any of the Oscars, but
I didn't either.
Arnold
it was on our way home
Schwarzenegger
from the thing.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito gave out an award together. And they're like, what are we up here for? You know, because of course they were in Twins together, and they're in
I was
that
gonna say, wasn't
State
he in
Farm
Twins?
commercial. But he goes, "We both got beat by Batman," and he goes, "You know, me as Mr. Freeze, and you as," and he goes, and Michael Keaton is out in the audience, and they're like, "There you are, you SO whatever," and then you're like, well, "You got some nerve showing you," and Michael Keaton's just sitting there going, "I'll take you. Come on."
They'll take
It was so funny. Yeah, that was good. Anyway, go ahead.
Funny.
Yeah.
We watched, and then Trevin was like, "Ooh, let's watch the first 20 minutes of The Batman." And I was like, "Perfect." And so we just watched the opening sequence of The Batman.
Is that the Twilight Batman movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Sparkly Batman?
The opening sequence is phenomenal. Here's what Trevin and I determined. He is a very good Batman. He is a very bad Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he's like Avril Lavigne Batman or Bruce Wayne.
Avril Lavigne Batman makes sense. Avril Lavigne Bruce Wayne does not.
Bruce Wayne. He's like, darkness, no parents.
No parents. We watched some Parks and Rec and some Adventure Time.
I started watching Community.
Are you loving it?
It's funny. Yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, go ahead.
I liked it until I didn't. And have still been loving the graphic audio on Hoopla. It's so fun.
The what?
I told you about that. It's what it's called. The company's called Graphic Audio.
Yeah.
This is what the guy says. Graphic audio, a movie for your mind. And I'm like, so a
that's
play,
cool.
So a radio play.
It's like, what's that?
It's literally
Shenanigans.
A new paradigm. It's a movie for your
New
mind.
paradigm in cinema.
So I am loving it. I don't know how I'm going to go back to listening to regular audiobooks when this is done. And I was talking to Trevin. I'm like, I'm on the last book. What am I going to do? And he's like, listen to them all again. I'm like, sounds like a plan.
There aren't more? Is that all? They only have a significant amount? They only have a...
I've looked at their like lexicon. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
On Hoopla.
I don't know.
And so they have some more that I'm going to be checking out.
Okay.
But we'll see, because I just downloaded my last one for March.
All right.
And how many hours do I have left of this book? 9.
Ooh.
That's not going to last the week. So I am going to end up listening to them again anyways. But yeah, the end.
All right. Coolio. All right, Hannah.
Yes.
We want to do Pop's pull list.
Yes. Lay it on us,
Tell
Papa.
folks what that is.
Gladly. Pops's pull list is a list that he makes for us based off of his pull list at a comic book shop. So a comic book shop pull list is when you give the list of comics that you're collecting to the proprietor of your local comic book shop, and they pull from their inventory those titles. That way you can ensure that you have the titles that you need for the titles you are collecting, like the issues and things like that. Pops is going to share with us 5 comics. He's going to share with us an independent comic, a Marvel and a DC comic. He's going to share with us a new number 1. So if you were wanting to start collecting and didn't know where to start, you could start at this comic. It's an issue 1. And then he's going to share with us a book of the week that could be any book from any publisher, anywhere.
Or a self-published comic.
Or a self-published comic too.
Yeah.
Trevin just
all right. So
one.
You what?
There's
What'd
another one. I don't know. Go ahead. I'm ready. I'm writing them down so I can put them on the
so my independent is Helen of Windhorn, spelled Windhorn.
Windhorn.
Helen of Windhorn by Dark Horse.
Okay.
This is the creative team from Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Tom King and Bilquis Evely. It is gorgeous. This book is gorgeous.
Issue
it
1?
is already sold out. They're already starting a new one. I don't know what this book is about yet.
Fair.
Tom King writes a lot. And
like
there is a lot.
Like
this
dialogue?
is
or a lot of background.
Yeah, this is set in like the late 1800s, early 1900s. about a woman who has to go and get this girl who's wild and bring her back to her grandfather's estate. And there is something going on at this estate, this like ancient castle or whatever. It ends with like the grandfather showing up and or her father coming through. I can't tell which one it is, like cutting the head off a dragon, like a dragon comes in.
What?
So something's going on. Yeah. So I think it takes place at the end, like the early 1900s, because there's a lady who's being interviewed and she's like really old and she's telling the story. She was the governess, Helen of
They
Windhorn.
love doing that.
Yeah. This is exactly what they did.
That's what the other one was.
That's what the other one was. So
Yeah.
this
That's
is
a fun
issue
trope.
one.
I like it.
It's already sold out. It's good. It's a lot to read. I'm sure the story is going to be amazing. Stick with it. Okay.
Right
My
on.
Marvel book is Avengers Twilight, book 4.
You're liking Avengers Twilight.
Oh, this issue got even better.
Really?
It is so good.
Lay it on us, Pop.
So, this is set in a world where the government pretty much runs everything, and Tony Stark's son is running the government with the government, and they're oppressing people. You can't have free speech, whatever. Captain America has retaken the super soldier serum, but he's like old. But he is trying to break Tony Stark out of this prison. They have like his brain or whatever. And that's how his son is getting all this stuff. And so he's going to break him out. Miss Marvel shows up. And at the end of, I'm talking about, I don't know, book 3. I'm going to do book 3. I'm not going to do book 4 yet. I want to talk about book 3, which came out about 2 weeks ago. And at the end of book 3, he's breaking him out. And Tony Stark's son is getting ready to whip him. And he's like, "You got nothing you can do now." And he goes, "Well, I do what I always do when I find things are so difficult that I can't do. I pray." And you turn the page and there's Thor right there with his big hammer. And so now at the end of book 4, they have reanimated the Red Skull. So now you've got a new Red Skull. Yeah. So anyway, it's a good book.
That.
It's Chip Zdarsky.
You like him.
Gotta like him. Speaking, let's stay on the Chip train.
You are okay. We have
We're gonna
all of these people that you love today.
Well, we're gonna go. It was hard picking, and actually, I took 5 books off my list. I cut Transformers. Not that it wasn't a good book. I just haven't been able to follow it.
Okay.
Void Rivals, which is also in the same vein. I just can't follow it. 2 Flash books, and I can't remember the other one. That's how much it. Anyway, so this is Batman 145.
Okay. Legacy or no?
Legacy? No, not Legacy. Who knows what the Legacy number is? Batman is being held captive. He and the Joker are in jail together, and Batman's computer that he created called Failsafe in case Batman goes crazy is now out in the world running around as Batman, and he is convinced some of the Bat family that it's really him downloading his conscious into this computer, but the real Batman's nowhere around, and it is creepy.
Pass.
So yeah,
Pass.
Damien believes him. Nobody else does.
Well, Damien.
I know. Well, here's my new number 1.
Lay it on us.
And this is really, really good.
Oh, fun.
This is by Image Comics.
Okay, we love Image.
It is a bigger size, but it was just $3.99.
Okay.
This is called The Last Mermaid.
That's so cute.
It is a mermaid who it's like a fall of man. There is no water. She's trying to find water. She is in a mech suit.
A mermaid in a mech suit.
Just like a human would, a mermaid in a mech suit trying to find fresh water to save her people. And the art tells a lot of the story. Very much like, what was that book that we read that we,
yes, the walking book. Footsteps book.
Yeah,
I'll Google it while you talk.
Yeah, it was very much like that. There is dialogue, not much, but it is gorgeous. And apparently the guy who wrote this was an animator, like a big time animator for like Disney, Nickelodeon, all this kind of other stuff. And he pitched an idea for a series and it never got off the ground. Then COVID hit and he had to leave. But one of the episodes in the series was about this mermaid in a mech suit. And so he started writing this book. It is great. So I took 5 off, added this. So this is a new number
Fun.
one. If you want to get in on watching that, The Last Mermaid, it is good. It is oversized. So when you're there, ask your comic folks to give you a bag and a board for it because what you have won't fit it.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
I found out what it is.
What was it called?
Step by Bloody Step.
Step by Bloody Step. Step by Bloody Step. Great story.
Excellent story.
All
I
right.
cried.
You ready? You ready for my book of the week?
Book of the week. It's the book of the week. Tell us, Pops, what's your book of the week?
So my good friend Hector of Faith and Fandom wrote a comic book called Flockward, Awkward Stories of Church People. And the artist's name is last name is Pollard. This is self-published. You can order it from him, or you can get it when you see him at a comic convention. But if you were ever in a youth group in the early to late 90s,
yeah, it's a 90s vibe.
this book is for
sure.
you.
For sure.
Now, and what happened in this is pretty much true to what part of Hector's experience with his first introduction into church, which is really scary because if I was attacked by a guy with a puppet, I don't know if I'd come back. But puppets were a thing in youth
you
groups.
remember the puppets, Dad?
I
From
remember
the
them.
Methodist Church.
Hello, we were the youth pastors in the 90s. Are
I'm
you
just
kidding
saying,
me?
I remember the puppets. There were
People did-
puppets galore.
There were puppets. We had a puppet team.
I know that you
We
did.
had a puppet team. Yeah.
I remember
So-
you being in every musical that ever happened and there being puppets.
I love this cover. The cover is great. If people who are watching, if you can look, it is a cassette tape that's unraveled and it shows like a little lamb. But the funny part are the titles on some of these songs: Locked In, Myrtle Beach Mission Trip, Lights On in the Van, KJV Only, Youth Group Breakup.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's for reals.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
it's a great comic, and yeah, support Hector. It's really good. It's,
Yeah, Hector from
and
Faith
I got
and Fandom.
I got a first edition.
Yeah,
There
you
you go.
did.
Yeah.
So fun.
All right,
Yay.
Hannah, what do we want to do?
Con first, since we were just talking
can talk
about Hector and he was there for the con.
Yeah, Hector, he came and stayed with us. So what do you want to talk about the con?
I want to talk about how you felt and thought about it, people that you met, pieces
Yeah.
that you sold.
So
I saw something on your
I've
Instagram
set up-
today that was interesting.
yeah, let's get there in just a second. So I was afraid because this was my 4th year, 4th location.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite location.
I really like
I
this
was-
location for you.
I was afraid we were not going to get enough traffic. And I got plenty of traffic.
I think if you had had the mirror on the other side, you would not have gotten enough traffic.
What mirror?
Like if
What do you mean?
they placed a mirror in the middle of the con and everything got swapped from the other side. Like if you had the same
Okay.
booth on the other side of the con, you wouldn't have. But because it was right there
Right,
by the
but-
doors, you did.
All right. People came in through those doors
Yeah.
and it was number 1. So it's like a lot of people will go up and down starting with 1 and working all the way to the end when they go out, which is, I believe, what happened. So it was really good. I sold 2 big pieces.
Woo!
I sold Daredevil and I sold Death Star. Sold a bunch of minis
yeah,
and some posters
yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really cool.
Passed out a lot of papers.
Passed out a bunch. Ran out, had to get more. So that's good. Had a couple good conversations with some people, and we had a good turnout for Nerd Church, which was really good. Hector did Nerd Church, so that was really good. So here's my biggest issue with me at cons.
Okay, what?
I don't know any of the celebrities. I just don't
I
pay
don't
attention.
either. Dad, I did not know that man was a celebrity until I showed the
Which
picture.
man?
The man. on
what
your
man?
Instagram.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's get to him. So, first of all, at cons, people will have badges. A badge will have usually it tells who you are or why you're there. Like my badge it said vendor. There are some badges that say staff because they work there. There would be a VIP, which usually meant they are there for the whole weekend and they paid a little extra so that they could have access to different things during the weekend. Then there is press. There's a press badge, and there are guest badges. Always, 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 always talk to guest, staff, and press.
Yes.
That's what I said. If you see someone in a badge, you need, when somebody said, we don't need no stinking badges, Matt, that's hilarious. But always talk to those people.
Yeah.
I say that and then I forget. So
anybody that makes eye contact with me is getting a spiel and a flyer.
And that's what happened. So here's the deal. We're going to get back to that guy
with me.
After the other star that came to my booth that you all don't even know about.
I don't what? So what happened?
Yeah, so the last hour of the last day.
Oh, I was gone. It was just
it was Nathan. And I was talking, there's a gentleman came up, I guess he came up, I talked to him, we gave him the spiel. He's like, no, I'm good, but thank you. And Nathan said, would you like me to put some lights behind someone? He goes, no, but thank you, whatever. And we gave him the spiel and talked to him for a little bit and he left. So then I went to Joe. I don't know. Nathan did it. So we went to Joe, the guy who's next to us selling stuff that we would watch his booth for him. And I was like, Joe, do you need anything? I'm getting ready to go. I was going to the bathroom. Do you need to go? I'll watch your booth. He goes, no, but at least you got to talk to Diggle. And I was like, who? Diggle. So Diggle is a character on the Arrow. He's been there from day one. He's a star of the TV show Arrow and who's supposedly set to be the Stewart in the Green Lantern.
Dang.
The African-American Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't talk to him. And he goes, you just talked to him for 10 minutes, you and your son both. And I was like, I don't remember. And he goes, are you kidding me? He goes, I know who he is, but I didn't pay attention. I was too busy doing other side. I just didn't pay attention.
I'm talking and I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, I'm talking to a TV star and had no clue. So anyway.
Hysterical. You talked to a TV star twice and had no clue.
Yeah. So I had a couple other guys.
Because that other guy comes up every time. And I'm like, oh, that guy's here every time. Nice to see you again, sir. You were here last year too. And I'm like, I don't know who he is. I'm like, oh, it's the guy with the good facial hair.
Oh, he's the newscaster.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he's for WKYT News.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's a newscaster. Yeah, he comes every year and checks in and says stuff. And he posted a thing on his WKYT Facebook page about my stuff. Sweet. Very sweet. So here's what happens. Two big old beefy guys, another guy, really nice with a cool mustache, came up towards the end of one of the days. And we're like, what's going on? And I was like, hey, how are you guys doing? And they're like, hey, great. And gave them the spiel, blah, blah, blah. They're like, that's pretty cool. I said, really? Why don't you try this on? So he tries on the Hall can. He's like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, yeah, I got a picture of Lou Ferrigno wearing that. And he's like, wow. And then I gave the other guy the hammer. I said, are you worthy? I do the spiel.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. So anyway, apparently a star.
Yeah.
No
on
idea
Vanderpump Rules, which is like a
reality TV show.
A big reality TV show that everyone loves. We're not reality TV show people.
Okay, right. So yesterday,
Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah. Yesterday, in the middle of the day, I get 2 new followers real quick on my Instagram. And I was like, I'm working. I looked down, I got a new follower. And I was like, wait a minute. Who's this guy? He's got a blue check mark next to his name. And I was like, I click on it. It says, I was like, 1.2 million followers. What the heck is that? And then I know. And then I get a message request.
He messaged, did he want the hand?
And I was like, I'm like, what is this? I click on it and he goes, hey, how are you? I'm the guy that liked the Hawk hand. I totally left and forgot all about it. And I was like, oh, well, hey, nice to hear from you. It's still available. And he said something else. And then I was like, oh, it was great to meet you. Yes. And he said, well, how much would it be? And I said, well, it's $650 and it'd probably be $50 to ship. So you're probably looking at $700. And that was late yesterday. I didn't hear from him at all. Nothing. And then today, out of the blue,
He posted you.
at like 3:00, he posts me on his Instagram story.
Tags you in it, Dad.
Tags me in his Instagram story with the other two guys.
Yeah.
The one guy who's there holding the hammer, and then the other
that's
guy who
taking the
took the
photo.
picture. He's not in the photo. He's the guy with the cool mustache.
Yeah. I
So
looked, and he
I'm like,
still follows you. He is one of
Yeah,
your
I'm like-
5. That's hysterical. No, like you
I have 1,000
followers.
followers.
You follow him back. Let's see if he follows you.
I did. He followed me.
And you both follow each other. Do you know that
Yeah,
you have
that's crazy
1,013
pants.
followers, Dad?
Oh, I have one more then because I had 1,012. But anyway,
You made 1,000
so-
followers.
I know I did. I was so happy. So it was funny. So today I was like, he's not responding. He's, I'm going to get ghosted. And they're like, well, you should say something. I'm like, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying anything to him.
No,
If he
don't.
wants
You
it, he knows
shouldn't.
how to get hold of me. Here's why. Because he has a series premiere tonight in LA for his new show called The Valley. And they're all going back to, here's another thing. He said, I want the Hawk hand for my bar. And I was like, that'd be cool. He'd have it at at his little bar in his house.
No, he owns a bar.
No, he owns a bar. Didn't know that.
Because he was like, it'd look great on at my bar. And I was like, oh, sick. That would be a really fun thing to have at like a home bar or something like that. Like that.
That's
would be
what I
cool.
thought. That is not what he
then
meant.
He started talking.
He has
and I was
a
like,
bar.
No, he owns a bar.
In LA. He owns a bar in LA. Yeah. And that's where they're all going after the premiere tonight. Everybody come on to the bar, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
I'm dead. Are you just going to give him one or are you
Is
going to
that
offer
not-
him both?
No, I'm offering him one because I'll have another one to sell. Yeah.
The left hand one.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's getting the left. I'll still have the right. So who knows? Who
man.
knows if he'll respond?
That's
But,
sweet
yeah.
though.
So his
Because
name
we've
is Zach
seen him-
Taylor, right? No.
Jack
What's his
Taylor.
name? Jax Taylor.
Mhm. Which
and,
apparently is not
he's
his
from-
real name. Maybe he changed
Correct.
it.
He's from Vanderpump Rules.
Mhm.
He got his start on like the Housewives of Beverly Hills or whatever, and now he has his own reality show called The Valley that premiered tonight on Bravo.
Good for him.
Hilarious.
Oh, and his bar is
um,
literally called Jax's.
I know. And that's where it would be. Would that not be cool? Your mom goes, well, that'd be a cool place for it to go until everybody gets hammered and somebody starts swinging at somebody with that daggone Hawk hand on. I'm like, well,
Maybe it'd be like art on the wall.
yeah. See, so CJ in the chat is like, who is this? So his name is
Jax
Jax
Taylor.
Taylor. He is a star of Vanderpump Rules.
yeah.
And here's the deal. They were so kind.
They were so kind and they were so
very nice.
very
energetic. I would like, hey, I'd have fun with these guys.
yeah, they
They
were
looked like
fun
they were
to
having
have.
a having
we
a
talked
blast.
to them a couple times.
I know. He
up
came
and was
by
like, oh,
twice.
you're here again. Like when I was there,
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
to ask you about the shipping.
Yes, he came back to ask about shipping on the hand. And then he
was
said,
like-
I left and I just forgot it. So anyway, there you
That's so
go.
cool.
Now, that would be awesome.
I'm dead at
now
that.
what
That's
do
the
you, you
funniest
got a good
thing.
mosaic while you were there at
I
the
did.
Comic-Con.
Doo-doo-doo.
Oh, there it is. That's fun. I'm going
I
to
got
send
a
my
rock
friends Asia and Luke, who invited us to their party. I'm going to send them some stickers.
Perfect. Here's what I'm going to do
Yeah.
for the wall. Those of you that can't see it,
What?
I'm sorry. I know this is an auditory medium as well, but I have a wall behind me that's an over the garden wall, and it has mixed media of art as well as prints of music from the show because it's a very music heavy show. It's kind of musically. They
Yes.
sing a lot of songs.
Mhm.
And
You
so
should watch Over the Wall.
you should over the garden.
Over the Garden Wall.
So I have found a cross stitch pattern that I'm going to cross stitch, and it's a sampler with like stuff from. It says Into the Unknown, and it has the ABC
Oh, cool.
and the 1, 2, 3, and then it has like scissors and the bird and the rock and things like that. So that's going
Right.
to go where the rock fact is. The rock fact is going to go in between where the plate, like right there where the plate is, and the plate is going to come
Okay.
down, and then we need
I
something
gotcha.
else for right there.
All right.
Or maybe something else for above right there too.
Yeah.
Once the cross stitch is there. But it's been very fun to collect art for our wall.
That is
We're art
cool. That is fun.
collectors.
I know, that's wild.
We bought a plate from an artisan and a mosaic from my dad. We have two of them, all
didn't buy
both
that.
on the same wall. You're right. I did not, but we will.
Yeah. You don't have to.
Okay.
Anywho.
I like the, I
What else you got?
love
What else
going
you
to
got going on?
cons. I love working cons with you. It's such a fun time. Telling
It is
people
fun.
about the work that you do and hyping you up.
Yeah.
And hoping that you sell something.
It's a lot of work, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely a once a year fun thing to do for the
draining.
weekend. It is draining.
It's draining.
Yes,
On the
it's
way
tiring.
home, Trevor was like, "Are you going to read a book?" I'm like, "Yeah, can I not talk to you for a couple hours?" He says, "That sounds great." And we both just kind of sat there in silence in the car. It was
And
wonderful.
just sit there in silence. Poor Hector had to drive like 7 or 8 hours home. I know.
I do not
But
think that I could do it.
It was great. It was great seeing Hector and Ashley, who was there. I don't know if you got to meet Ashley, fangirling over Jesus. It was
not.
really cool to meet
That's so
her.
fun.
All right, so let's jump into this before we run out of time.
Yes. Spoilers.
We're going to talk about Dune 2. Okay, so I have read Dune multiple times, and I don't know why I go into Dune thinking it's going to have a different
doesn't.
ending. It doesn't. It's not a.
It's not a good book.
It's a
I mean,
good book.
it is a good book, but it's not a happy book.
Correct. Yes, it's not a happy book.
Doesn't he become like psycho crazy? That's a clinical term. If anyone was curious.
Not necessarily. He does go blind. He does get blinded.
That's probably good.
But anyway, go ahead. You tell me what you thought about the movie.
Okay. I enjoyed the epicness of it. We saw it opening weekend in IMAX. So everything was very loud and the screen was very big. I put my earplugs in multiple times during it because the music got too loud and it was hard for me to pay attention because it was hurting. So the mixing was weird, but I think that was on purpose. I think they wanted you to feel overwhelmed at multiple points during it. And
I do like how they started the movie, though.
yeah, I thought that they'd start the movie already.
Anyway,
The music, the worm music was so, like the composing, beautiful.
I do like how they did the worms. I really did. I really
The worms
liked
were
that.
pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The worms were pretty cool. It's weird to me how it went from, man, it's really hard to ride a worm to we have an entire caravan on this worm. That didn't make any sense.
Well, they've been riding worms for years, right?
I know. I'm just saying. I was like,
I know. Well, it's hard to catch a worm and get on one. That's the issue.
Okay, so you got to catch it and get on it, and then the caravan can get on it.
Then you're a Fremen. You're a Fremen when you can do
Gotcha,
that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
He called a maker. The biggest one.
It is written.
So,
I heard that people were mad about Stilgar.
why?
That he wasn't as like powerful and that they made him seem kind of wimpy with his all like it is written stuff.
I don't think so. I think Stilgar was pretty much that.
Okay.
I still think that my favorite visual media adaptation of Dune is the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries that lasts forever that you can watch for free
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
I started watching it again.
Fun.
Yeah.
I
there are
really
some
liked
things
this.
I did like it. And I think my problem is that I really like the book so much. There's so much in the book.
This was not a direct adaptation to the book.
Oh, it can't be. I mean, because it's so long. I mean, in the book during this, first of all, Aaliyah, his sister, is born during the drinking of the water. When the mother takes the water to become their Bene Gesserit,
Mother, to become the mother.
the child is born early and raised in the Sietch with the other children.
Okay. I think she will still be raised in the Sietch,
Yes, but she's not even born yet.
but she's not born yet. I wonder if
Right.
she's going to age quicker. If that's going to be the whole
And
thing.
they kidnap her.
The Bene Gesserit?
They kidnap the little girl. They kidnap Paul's sister.
Who is they?
The Harkonnens.
Okay.
They raid the Siege in the south. They destroy the Siege in the south. They kill Paul Muad'Dib and Cheney's son. Yeah, they have a child. They kill the child, and that's basically what sets the end in motion. So she is there, and she knows, she has all the history. So she's like, hi, Grandpa, because the thing that I like the most about this movie, as opposed to the other movies, is how they portrayed the Harkonnens.
The Harkonnens were creepy as heck.
So do you know how they filmed that?
No.
Part of that? So this is what happened. So I was listening to an interview with, I was listening to Denis Villeneuve, the director, on Stephen Colbert. And he said that they were filming it, and then his chief photographer came in and said, I want to do something different. He goes, what? He goes, I think we need to film this like it's a negative for a camera.
It's flip-flopped.
So he goes, but then he goes, what's going to happen is we're going to lose all color. And and that's why they're all so pale, black and white. It's like, it's a negative. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then any color that was in there, they had to go back and digitally add. And it was so good. The start trend, that was so good.
The explosions looking like the fireworks looking like ink.
Yeah, that was cool too.
Ink blots were cool.
Mm-hmm.
They had so many random famous people in this movie.
Yeah. What the heck?
So many just random
The Padishah Emperor looked like an idiot. Another thing is that Lady Fenring did not go and get impregnated by
she did in this one.
Ralph there. Yeah.
May thy knife chip and shatter. May thy knife chip and shatter.
I liked the movie. I think it's a great movie if you've never read Dune.
I've never read Dune. Greatly enjoyed it.
There you go.
It was very good. That's why I like Foundation. I enjoy the Foundation TV show because I have not read the Foundation.
Yeah. But there's books that I've read that I don't know. I tell you some cool thing that's happened about this with all the Dune stuff coming back is that there has been deleted scenes from the 1984 Dune that have resurfaced.
That's so fun.
And those have been good.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Especially the one with Thufir Howard.
I appreciate the art of it. Like the costuming in the movie was phenomenal. Oh, yeah. The composing and the music was phenomenal. I said the costuming already. I'm going to mention it again because it was phenomenal. It was like
I got you.
The Bene Gesserit was interesting. The Empress's daughter, her clothes were strange. The Fremen was very interesting. What they did to Paul's mom as she just got more and more veiled as it went on.
So she fussed at the director. She's like, he said, I'm going to change it up. You're going to be pregnant for the whole movie. And she goes, what? Am I going to be sexy pregnant or big pregnant? And he goes, you're going to be big pregnant. He goes, and you're going to wear this, this, and this. And she goes, and covered in tattoos. And you're going to wear a veil. She goes, it could be anybody under here. She goes, listen, I'll do the tattoos. I'll wear this, but you're not putting a veil on me all the time.
Yeah, he did.
So, yeah, he did pretty much have a veil on her.
He did.
A lot of the time.
But you could tell it was her.
Yeah.
Again, it was very like you could, I don't know. There was like a reason for it, Like it was like she moves in secret.
So in the book, the way at the very end, they do fight. He does fight and he does kill Feyd-Rautha. But what happens is that the guild is like, they're like, we're going to stop all of this. And the houses are going to stop all this. And he's like, whoever can destroy a thing controls a thing.
Do they destroy
what he would
Dune?
say. No, but he found how to kill all the sandworms. So it's the water of life. Remember how they kill the sandworm in order to get the water? They put it in the water and it kills it. So he's going to put all this water, he's going to release this water and kill all the sandworms, and then there'll be no spice. And if there's no spice, there's no travel, no intergalactic travel. So that's how he like threatens them. He goes, I'll drop a bomb and destroy them all. And then they're like, oh yeah, they will. He will do that. So,
Dang.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm being hard
it
on
seems
it. I
like
shouldn't
no, it
do it.
seems like Jenny wants to do Dune
And
Messiah.
I'm sorry, but
You can have your opinion.
in the chat, Matt Insweiler has a terrible opinion. He says that not Dune 1984 is terrible. Was
After I
awful.
just said you can have an opinion, he has a terrible opinion.
I love Dune 1984. It was my first introduction though to this type of stuff, so I can't help it. You're right. It's not a great movie. It's David Lynch. It's Twin Peaks Dune is what it is. But anyway,
I realized something today. Not
What?
today, but since watching Dune Part 2, that Denis, the director,
Denis Villeneuve.
he did Arrivals.
Really?
He was the director of Arrivals, which is one
Wow.
of my all-time favorite movies.
I know it's in your top 10.
Top 5.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So I
that's
don't know.
cool.
I appreciate appreciate
Vision.
his directorial style. I appreciate because Arrivals, I think part of the reason I love it so much is that it feels like art. Like there's so much that happens that doesn't make sense on first watch, but
Amy Adams'
everything-
character is extremely
she's
good.
phenomenal in that movie.
Very good.
So yeah, I don't know. It tickled a part in my brain that films don't always tickle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I tell you what, something else that I missed out of Dune 1 and Dune 2.
Okay.
One of my favorite parts of the movie was when he fights and kills Jameis. We know this.
Yeah.
So he kills Jameis at the end of the first Dune, right? And who, by the way, is Dr. Mbigwe in the Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Oh, that's so fun. I was going to say, I know
So
his
good.
face.
Yeah, that's him. But anyway, that is one of my favorite parts because they do this thing where they go and they take all of
Oh, you told me
Jameis's
about that.
belongings
And they did not.
and they go and they say, I was a friend of Jameis. They take something and they say why they were a friend of Jameis. And at this point, he thinks all of his people are dead. He thinks Gurney Howard's dead. They didn't even get much into this. And Gurney always played like a lute or a guitar or something. And Jameis had one. And he grabs that because it reminds him of his friend Gurney who died but isn't dead. And he says, I was a friend of Jameis because he taught me when you kill someone, you kill a little bit of yourself or something of that nature. And then he cries one tear, which doesn't happen in the Fremen community because water is so precious.
Yeah, it's a gift of water.
That's what they said. He gives water to the dead. He gives water to the dead. He gives water to the dead. They're like, oh, this is like the ultimate show of respect. And they're like, they all want to touch him and lay hands on him as he's walking back.
Yeah, when
And I
he
thought that
shows
was
up here, that everyone hates him.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but the young ones, the people that would be his friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm being really hard on it. I shouldn't be. It's a really good movie.
You can be as hard on it as
Does not have a happy ending, but Dune doesn't have a happy ending. It does and it doesn't.
It's a message.
And I don't like the part where Chaney at the end of this movie,
Leaves.
Dune 2, because that does not happen in the book.
Jenny
And it
talked about
doesn't
that in an
happen-
interview I watched.
I don't like it. He says that he says while he's there that she'll never know his touch and she can spend eternity like with her books
Yeah.
because you're my lady. Basically like Jessica was for his dad, his concubine, because the dad was never married. But anyway.
Yeah, because
Anywho,
he was like, I
that's
should
it.
have married you right
Yeah.
before he dies. I enjoyed it. Will watch again, probably at my house when it comes on
absolutely.
HBO Max. I will watch it
It
again.
is- I'm glad it was in the theater, not like the first one where we had to watch it during COVID
I watched the first one in the
on a
theater.
little itty bitty TV.
I watched the first one in
When?
the theater with Trevin
Was it not a COVID
in
movie?
Hendersonville.
Really?
It was 2021, I thought.
Well, that
Summer 21.
was that cool? Oh, I don't know. Then yeah, I guess it was. But how did I miss it in the theater?
I told you that we went and watched it. Yeah, 2021.
Well, I screwed that up.
I was gonna say you could have gone to see it.
Yeah, see it on the big screen.
October
Big
of
screen,
21.
big screen,
You
big
could have gone to
screen.
see it, Dad.
I could have 100%. Yep.
Okay.
Anyway, that's what we got. Yeah, thumbs up. I give it 4 sandworms.
I'd give it
It's
4.5 just for the art.
It's just, I don't know. I'm an old
It's
fart.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And they
Oh,
do
well.
things where it goes from really, really dark to like extremely bright.
That's hard on me.
And it's on purpose so that your eye feels like what it would be. Your eye is doing the thing that when you're watching it, that your eyes would do if you were there.
It made my eyes turn blue, actually.
Did it?
Within blue.
Okay, our end roll, Dad. Oh, I do
Go
the end
for
roll.
it. You do the end roll. And I haven't done
You're so
YouTube
fine.
in forever.
Friends, thank you for hanging out on our little corner of the internet. We are so glad that you were here, that you decided to hang out with us.
That's right, guys. Absolutely.
Our intro music is done by Brockwell Nason. He created, composed, performed. So check him out anywhere you get your music. You can follow him on Instagram. He performs a lot in downtown Nashville. So if you are ever in downtown Nashville and need a person's music to listen to, Brockwell Nason, ladies and gentlemen. Our art was made by Nate Turner in Microsoft Paint. He is chef's kiss wonderful. Thank you for doing that for us, Bud. And I edit and upload our podcast.
Follow and share our podcast and let me know, and I'll send you a free Sis and Big Pops pen, which is our logo.
Ooh, that's it, Pops. And that's
I know.
That's
Sometimes
all,
I
folks.
put stuff on the tubes. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
I hope you had fun. We had fun, and we don't do it for you anyway. But anyway, I know it's terrible. We do it for Jack's, what's his name? Vanderpump. Anywho,
Vanderpump.
very nice guy.
Oh, he was very kind.
Very nice guy. Very
Okay.
kind. Liked him.
Mm-hmm.
All
What are
right.
we gonna do, Dad?
Until next time, we will
catch you on the
flippity
flippity
flop.
flop. Bye, friends.
Bye, guys.